I'm Dylan.
I'm Camille.
And today, on the Midweek Creep, everybody, that we're doing a video of now.
Oh, that's right.
Because we're fancy, trying to be. I don't know how much of this you're going to see, but whatever, it's fine. We have very special guests today. Camille, do you want to introduce them?
No, I think they know their own names, so they can introduce themselves. Hello.
I am Cary Thomas Cody, Mr. Skullcrawler, and this is
Orrin Ponkilla, Mr. Skullcrawler number 2.
Oh.
Junior.
Junior, yeah.
Do you still get to say that? Are you still Junior since you actually have a human child now?
Oh, yeah, he actually has a junior.
Good point. Good point. Good point. He's great too.
So fun. Oh, we're gonna share.
Yeah, we got to share a mic today. We got to act like we're a couple and shit. So, today,
Adorable.
we wanted to take this episode to talk to you guys about Skullcrawlers and to talk about the new movie, The Scarecrow of Parkhurst.
And like whatever else you guys want to
Yay.
talk about is fine.
Okay,
Yeah.
right on.
Yeah.
So some political issues. Got
Yeah,
it.
definitely. Yeah. We're gonna
I've
get
got some hot takes.
Yeah.
Hot button.
some hot button climate. What? Why can't it?
Climate change.
There we go.
abortion,
It's
that kind of
bad.
stuff.
Yeah, we're gonna talk.
Or good.
Yeah. We're gonna talk about abortion today. No, that's fine. That seems super
There
inconsiderate.
goes your listeners. Okay.
All right. So, what do you guys want to talk about first? The birth of Skullcrawlers. A lot of baby stuff here. This is weird. The birth,
Oh God.
or
Sensing a theme.
do you guys want to talk about Parkhurst?
Let's start from Parkhurst, and
Yeah.
then we can work our way back if
Yeah.
we have time.
So when
Yeah.
did this come about? Like, when were you guys talking about this?
So the idea for Parkhurst started because we have really wanted to do a Halloween short film, and we really didn't know what to do. We had initially planned on doing a sequel to our very first short film that we did last year, actually in 2020, and that ended up not working out, and I had a fail-safe. That was I wanted to do a Killer Scarecrow horror short film because I love Jeepers Creepers, and I thought it would just be a lot of fun. So, yeah.
Orrin, how did you get roped into this?
Like you said, we were trying to figure out what to do for Halloween, and we talked about doing Crutch 2. We couldn't do that because just logistically, we didn't have a story or anything just beyond an idea.
Mm-hmm.
So Cary was in Illinois at the time, and he was driving through, family stuff or whatever. And he has a cornfield, and that's when he came up with the idea for Scarecrow of Parkhurst, or
Yeah.
the guts of the Scarecrow story.
Right.
And so from there, we just figured out
Man, there's
a
some,
story from that point.
yeah.
That's cool.
There's something really
Yeah.
cool about driving through areas that either you haven't been to or that you go to very infrequently. Like
Yeah.
I guess in 2019, I was driving through Vermont, and Vermont is a huge place in like H.P. Lovecraft stories and stuff.
yeah,
And I'm a
yeah.
huge fucking nerd for it. And so when I was driving through, there was one story in particular that was just like playing through my head the whole time. It's like my favorite one. And the whole time I was like, I'm in the fucking woods of Vermont right now, where this fake story takes place, and it is just so fun. But like, it's cool just like driving through places and getting inspiration like that.
I was driving through Iowa actually to get to Illinois, and it was just like 3 hours straight of just cornfield.
Yeah.
And I was like, I have to do a Killer Scarecrow short film at some point.
Yeah.
Didn't expect for it to be so soon. Actually, Dylan, I remember texting you like the day that I was like, we should do a Killer Scarecrow short film. I told you the whole story. You're like, that sounds awesome.
Yeah, because that was a little while before it actually all kicked off.
It was in July.
Yeah.
It was a while back,
Mm-hmm.
for sure. And it does take a while for shorts to get made, from the initial idea to writing a script and then writing a bunch of different scripts. and then finding the actors, and then changing the script again, and then finding the location, and then actually filming, and all of it. It just takes so long that like you just don't realize how much work it really is.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
But it is like almost every step is so much fun. I will say, except for editing.
Right.
That is the worst part, especially after that first cut. You're like, this is the worst thing I've ever seen. I'm not putting this out.
Yeah.
And I did have that thought with Scarecrow of Parkhurst. And I was like, I'm so sorry, guys. We made something so bad we can't put it out.
Yeah.
And then, through the magic of editing and then having people throw in ideas, like, you should do this, you should do this, with sound effects and then color grading and with the score and stuff like that, it all comes together and you're like, oh, this looks like an actual movie. This is cool. So, yeah.
You guys, oh, go ahead.
No,
I'm so
no,
sorry.
you go.
And you guys got a ton of compliments along the lines of, this is like the most professional of the films that you guys have made thus far,
by far.
and like it's come so far. And like I've seen how many shorts have you guys done?
We have three that's on YouTube right now.
Yeah.
Okay.
And then we did one like anthology series one that's kind of like a Halloween special type thing. It's called The Writer's Room.
Okay.
That was at the Dead Center Film Festival.
Man, that was the first thing of yours that I ever
I
saw,
sent it to you.
and it blew my mind.
Nice.
I was like, oh my god.
It's
'Cause
all
That's
great.
right.
Yeah.
Yeah, it was wonderful. It was like, man, because it's like, okay, real talk here,
Yes,
right?
yes.
When you're-
real.
when
It's
you're-
real.
When your friend is like, hey man, check out my band, and you're like, absolutely not, like, or whatever, or like if somebody,
we've been
if
there a
so-
million
yeah,
times.
if somebody's
Guy.
like, you should check out my band, I'm like, all right, and you check out the band, and you're like, that was really good, keep her up, and then I watched The Writer's Room, and I was like, well, this is fucking great, holy shit, like. It's just like the pacing was awesome. All three stories were great.
Mhm.
And then the way that it wrapped was just like perfect. It was perfect. It was just
Thank
such a
you.
cool way.
Thanks.
Man, and then so when you guys do Crutch 2, that's going to be rad because Crutch was so much fun. And
Thank you.
then like me knowing that there is a Crutch 2, it just hasn't like come out yet.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like,
Yeah,
it's
yeah.
so exciting to see
Right
to
on.
see the flip. You know what I mean?
Good deal.
Mm.
Yeah.
So talking about The Writer's Room just for a second, it's not available publicly yet. We'll probably release it in the next couple of months just because we submitted it to a bunch of festivals and it got denied, unfortunately. But it was at Dead Center, which is our local Oklahoma film festival, and it did really well. Everybody
Yeah.
loved it.
Yeah.
That in
And we
itself is a
freaking
pretty big
we
deal.
had a
Yeah.
blast. It was the
Yeah,
best. We met
yeah.
so many other filmmakers, made a lot of friends, and it was just like the best experience ever. And I was like, oh, I want to make movies because this was just so much fun, and people were so nice, and they loved it. Our family and friends came out. It was a lot of fun, but it also is a lot of pressure as well because all of the shorts that we've done were all just for fun.
Yeah.
We've only made them just for us or for our friends. My initial goal with the Skull Crawlers was to make short films with my friends for my friends.
Right.
And it was never supposed to go like beyond that. We never like planned on doing the whole film festival thing. Then we had the idea to combine all of our short films into one and then submit it to the festival, and that's how The Writer's Room kind of came about. And it was a lot of fun, for sure. But filming it was one of the most stressful things of my life because I was just like, so many people are going to see this.
Yeah.
And then Orrin and I both co-directed the Writer's Room portion of that, and also were the main characters of the whole thing. And then we're
Oh my
we're
gosh.
hanging out while we're editing it and stuff like that. It was just so much stress. Oh my gosh.
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
You're
ahead.
not even like a big fan of acting, right?
not really. I
Yeah.
never like really wanted to act. It was only because I just like don't feel like finding actors. I know what the character is supposed to act like and be like, so I'm like, I'll just do it myself.
Right.
But
Yeah.
acting and directing it kind of sucks, but a lot of people do it, and
You do it very well.
Thank you.
You do.
Yeah.
A lot of people do it, and I'm like, if they can do it, I can do it. It just does add that whole extra layer of stress, though. And so after like we've had just like the tiny bit of success that we've had, I definitely want to just be behind the camera and focus my efforts there. So
Nice.
yeah.
Absolutely. I could see, I feel like anytime, I mean, even in doing something like this, like we've got even just a phone camera and we're all holding mics, and like you said, you were worried about it earlier today. That's like every week. I'm just like, what am I going to say? I have no idea. We're going to write a script. It is a lot of pressure, but it's neat that you guys, you just put it out there.
Yeah.
And
for
people
sure.
Yeah.
loved it.
Yeah.
It's so awesome, dude.
The response.
That still baffles me, honestly.
Right?
Yeah.
Like going to Dead Center,
Exactly.
like I know, because like Cary said, doing this, like we just did this to for our friends and make it with our friends, and so like when you show outside people that, it's like, oh, you like this, or you thought this was funny, like I guess we keep doing it. I mean,
Yeah, when we're in
I mean,
the
like,
theater,
I never did it for did any of this for praise or like approval or anything, but like now I'm like, okay, well, we'll just keep doing it because people like it. So
yeah, we were in the theater watching the writers' room with the whole like packed theater, sold out theater. Orrin and I were sitting next to each other, and we were both sunken so far in our seats because we didn't want anybody to see us. And then after those first couple of laughs, we're like, okay, we'll kind of lean up a little bit. And that's when it became like, okay, so it's really not that bad. It's actually good. We're just pretty self-critical about it.
I feel like that's so normal, though.
Yeah, for
Absolutely.
sure.
Yeah.
And neither of us are, actual filmmakers. We were just kind of doing it for fun, and
You are now.
yeah,
You
we
both
are now, right?
Yeah.
right, yeah, I guess so.
Yeah, you're
So
you're
we're faking it
yeah.
until we make it.
I mean,
Good job, guys.
you
you.
have like 3 things out, so you're not even faking it at this point. Like,
Brutal.
it's just like you made the thing, you put it up, and people have watched it. So it's legit. Like, and man, it was wild watching that, going from filming it to watching the edits, then watching the final cut was whackety schmackety.
It was
dude.
wild.
Oh, you're talking
Yeah.
about Scarecrow?
Yeah.
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 Yes, dude. It's so stressful too because I even feel bad about like sharing. Like, this is the edit so far. Enjoy.
Oh, yeah.
Like, I mean, everybody
It's a
knows.
process,
like,
though.
it's coming
That's how it
together.
goes.
Yeah. It was all coming together, and it's nuts, dude. It was
Yeah.
insane seeing that transformation.
Mhm.
So-
And, go ahead.
No.
No, you go. No, you go.
I was gonna say, so out of the, I guess so. What of the writers' room hasn't come out yet?
So it's like the
Like the in between bits, in between the shorts, and like the where we cut in with jokes.
Gotcha. Okay.
We're
Yeah,
really
so,
the whole short is us pitching ideas to each other. Like,
Yeah.
what if we did this as a horror film?
It was so. That's what I loved so much, because it's just like that feels so real. Where like you're
Yeah.
watching a movie and you're like, this movie is bunk. We could do
Yeah.
a better job.
Yes,
like,
dude.
yeah, man.
Yeah.
And it's just like now.
That's every
here's-
conversation we have when we watch a movie.
Yeah.
Like, what can we do, or what did they do good about this, or what was dumb about this?
Right.
Absolutely.
So-
Yeah.
Yeah.
And that's one of my favorite things to do is watch like an old movie with Orrin, because I'm like, do you see what they did there? That they did this.
Yeah, yeah.
We could do something like that. And I love
Yeah.
watching older movies, especially because their technology was so limited to things that like they had around them. Like, we have that same stuff around us. We can
Yeah.
do something similar to that.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's the cool thing about like filmmaking now, is like, well, we at our disposal have what people had like back in the day that they had to spend a ton of money on.
Yeah.
We just have that shit.
Yeah.
We
Yeah.
just have it now. And so now it's just like, well, we either can pool all of our money to get a camera, or hope to God that somebody has one, because then now
Yeah.
that's all we need. All we
Yeah.
need is a good camera, and like technically you want good
Mhm.
lights, but if you just shoot like at the right time of day,
Yeah,
you
we
don't-
all love that natty light. so.
Yeah,
Yeah.
that's
Yeah.
true. Crack open a natty. But like you can do that, and like with a bunch of like After Effects stuff, like you
Sure.
know, clear some stuff up. But
Yeah.
you know,
Yeah.
I mean, like we have our cameras on our phones are
They're incredible.
Like, everybody says this
It's
1,000 times over, but yeah, I mean, like the cameras that we have on our phones are better than cameras that people had, like to spend thousands of dollars on.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
So I got to give a shout out to Mikey Hever, who is our cinematographer, our director of photography, our editor. She's one of the most hardworking people and talented people I've ever met. And the fact that she wants to work with us is just crazy to me. But yeah, she's like a wedding videographer and photographer. And she hit me up last year because she's like, hey, I heard you wanted to make horror movies. Let's make one. I was like, all right, I've got all these ideas. And the idea that I had initially was Crutch, which is our first short film. And it was so easy that I was like, anybody can do this short film. It's so simple. Even we could do it. So this is one that we should shoot first. And we did, and it went really well. And then she continued to want to work with us, which is just crazy because, again, we don't really feel like we're too special. But now we've got, so much momentum that we're like, let's just keep doing this.
Yeah.
But yeah, shout out to Mikey. You rule. You're the best.
Yeah.
And I hope you want to keep working with us because, you're awesome.
Yeah.
So.
She's great. Like, her attitude the entire time was just insane. Like, being mindful of everything that was happening around her and the sun.
Yeah,
and
dude.
you guys.
Yeah.
And just, it was nuts.
Yeah.
It was...
She's always down to hear any of my wild ideas, even though they're just insane. I'm like, please just shoot me down this time. Just tell me that this is a bad idea. And she never does. And that's how the second character of the Scarecrow of Parkhurst got introduced, because I wanted there to be a death scene so bad.
Right.
Because initially we just had the one character who was supposed to wander into this cornfield and then get, then the punchline at the end, which was this the Scarecrow getting hit by a car and the main character getting arrested again. Like, it was kind of a full circle moment.
Yeah.
But I wanted there to be a death scene so bad, so we were, a couple days from filming. I'm like, what if we added a second character? And she was like, go on. I was like, I just want there to be a death scene so bad. I want some blood. And she's like, well, do you know anybody who wants to act? I was like, I mean, I could do it. And that's kind of how that went along, because we didn't want to shoot any dialogue with this one, because dialogue is just the hardest thing to do. And also I was like, well, what if we just shoot dialogue on one end so we don't have to have, cutting back and forth. And so that's also why our main character doesn't say anything, because we just didn't want to have to deal with dialogue. It's a whole other layer of difficulty that is just so stressful, and it's just so hard to do.
Yeah.
So another one of our secrets that
so
everybody
smart.
knows about. Yeah.
All right.
It's great though, because like not having Skylar's character talk that much, like just having him just be like
a total creep.
Yeah.
He's so good at it.
Yeah, dude.
Yeah.
we love Skylar, so we can totally say that I've seen Skylar in 3 things now, and he is a creep.
Yeah.
He plays a
Absolutely.
creep.
Really good at it.
So good. In real life, he's a giant sweetheart. But,
Yeah, he's the best in real life, for sure. He's the best. And I got to give a shout out to Skylar as well. We are wanting to cast somebody that, like, kind of that prison look with tattoos and stuff like that. And I was like, I know just the guy. And so we hit him up, and he was down so fast. He was the first one at every shoot day. Text me back immediately every single time. It was incredible. I was like, wow, this literally couldn't go any better as far as like working with everybody, and that really made the biggest difference in the final product. So
So fun.
Yeah.
How long? Okay, working our way back now.
Yes.
How long have you guys known each other?
Orrin and I have known each other since middle school. We went to the same school pretty much our whole lives. I really didn't like Orrin because him and I both wore the same shirts. And a lot of times we both have the same Tropic Thunder shirt or Aqua Teen Hunger Force shirt.
That's the first inciting incident. It was like, I saw that he had the same shirt, and it was like, man.
Yeah.
It was a Tropic Thunder shirt, for sure.
Yeah, that was in 10th grade. I was like, wow, this guy just thinks he can walk around looking like me. And of course, you like the people that you would get along with, you just don't like for some reason, just because you're like, wow, they're too much like me. I can't like them.
Right.
And then you get to know them, and of course, you're like, oh, you're the best.
Yeah.
But going forward a little bit, I really wanted to make a horror film for Halloween a long time ago, and I was like, the only person I know that loves movies as much as I do is Orrin, because we would like talk on MySpace back in the day about movies, and I hit him up in a Facebook message, and he said he was down immediately to do a really bad found footage horror movie that we put out in 2016. So
because I had just quit my job and I was like, I'm down. I'm not doing anything. So.
The found footage is a good one to do on your first go around. Like,
really
is, you know, like you're like, well, I've got 3 friends. There's gonna be 3 people in this movie. Everybody has camera phones. Perfect.
Exactly.
If it looks like crap, it's because
legit.
It's on a camera phone.
Yeah, it's supposed to look bad.
It's a found footage.
Yeah.
What do you expect? Like.
Yes, and I still have a huge soft spot in my heart for found footage because we spent so much time researching found footage for the movie that we made that it's just like I love it so much. I'm like, man, I just have such a big like spot in my heart for found footage because the journey of making that movie, which ended up being terrible, by the way, was just so much fun.
Yeah.
Don't go look for it.
It was it was the journey really that made the whole experience just the best. So, and then of course after that we tried to make short films for a couple years and they all failed. And then it was just us persisting, and then of course finding Mikey, the right person, to really help us get another one made. And of course, here we are. So this shows a lot of hard work, persistence, and then just us just loving movies.
Yeah.
So exciting.
Well,
don't give up on your dreams.
Yeah.
Don't.
Reach for the stars.
Literally. Also, what else are you gonna do?
Someday you too could work at Starbucks and then also make movies.
You too could also have a day job and do whatever you want to do outside of that if you're not too tired.
Yeah.
Well, anyhow, back to Scarecrow.
Yeah.
So, I hit up Dylan and Camille a couple weeks before we shot because I really wanted to outsource kind of everything because I was like, I just don't have time because wife and I were having a baby to make a costume and do a bunch of other stuff, which, you know, what we did for every one of our other shorts. And I was like, well, maybe they'd be down to make the costume or at least just make you guys were going to make the mask, right?
No, so initially...
Yes.
Sorry.
It's
I forgot
okay.
we're doing this. My bad.
Initially, it was just costume design, and you
That's
guys
right.
had somebody else that was going to make the mask.
That's right.
Yeah.
Yeah. So, and of course, that person backed out, and I was like, "You guys want to make the mask too?" They're like, "Yes."
It was like
And-
2 days later.
Yeah.
2 days later, we were like, absolutely, we can totally do this. That'll be great.
Yeah.
And then 2 days later, you text me. It was like, hey, so actually, this person just dropped out. And we
Yeah.
were like, fucking sick. We were hoping so. Like, no, I'm kidding.
We were hoping so.
We did not will it into existence.
We did not will it into existence, but we were very excited. It took...
to have the opportunity
Yeah.
to do so.
For sure. And you guys were incredible. I couldn't ask for anybody better to do the job, for sure, because you guys were so responsive and excited. And that's like the one rule that we have with our crew is that like everyone that works with us, like they just got to have a good time and want to be there, you know? So I'd rather have people that want to be there and be involved than people that, you know, have experience, because like I'm just trying to have fun and have a good time.
Yeah.
That's what it's all about.
We were
Yeah.
so stoked. We were literally just like freaking out over our cell phones, just like oh my god, this is so fun, because we just like we'd never done anything like that. Well, we'd never done anything like this that anyone's ever seen before. You know what I mean? So it's like we had worked on something before, like 2019. And it was super sick, but it was like a wildly different, like I directed it. Like someone else, I wrote the story, someone else wrote the script, and then we did the movie. But so it was always something that we were excited to try and do, was like anything in film at all. So when it was like, oh, we get the chance to like make the bad guy, like, oh yeah, dude. Like,
Yes.
totally. But
Yeah.
And
It
then,
was fun.
and then moving forward, they got more involved because our actor who was supposed to play the Scarecrow backed out, I think the day of shooting.
The day before.
The day before shooting. And so I was like, do either one of you guys, Dylan, want to play the Scarecrow? And he's like, absolutely.
Yeah.
And so-
It was funny because I was at work when
Uh-huh.
I got that text, and I think Camille texted me outside of it, was just like, hey, did you see this? And I was like, oh my God. And I'm pretty sure Camille answered for me. She was like, he's
She
at
did.
work right
Yeah.
now,
Yeah.
but yeah. And then I saw the text and I was like, absolutely, 100%, yes.
Yes. So for everyone listening, we literally had the best time
It
on the
was so
shoot
fun.
every day. I mean, I still feel bad for Dylan because his costume was very thick, and it was in early September, and so it was very hot.
It broke
Yeah.
100 degrees every day we were out there.
Yeah, yeah.
It was honestly,
Yikes.
yeah. You were a trooper, and I was trying to play it cool because he has asthma, so it was like, don't be weird about it. Don't make him out to be some nerdy guy that can't breathe.
No way, dude. It just made the Scarecrow better because the Scarecrow breathes really heavy, and you're like, oh, okay, I believe that.
It was amazing. It was also like, don't be too girlfriendy
Yeah.
while you're out there too. Like
Yeah.
I was just, which
That's so funny that you guys even talked
You weren't,
about this.
though. It was great.
yeah.
It was fun. 'Cause,
Hey, thank you.
Well, it was just, I know that if something's wrong, I know something's going wrong. But what's funny is, like, yeah, it was super hot and I was sweating so much, but it was like, it made it more comfortable, weirdly enough, because then when the breeze caught the costume,
Sweat was cooling you down.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And then having that mask on the whole time was super sick.
You were literally
because-
masking your emotions.
Yeah. It made it was, I can't, dude, it was such a bizarre experience wearing that mask for a long time and then taking it off, and I was
Yeah.
just like, oh my God. Like, it was just like, everything
You
was
guys,
just so
he was a
bright.
real method actor. He wore the Scarecrow costume all day long.
Yeah. And then having to chase Skylar, who weighs like 90 pounds and is taller than me, was hilarious because I was
That's
like,
true.
this is where I die. This is where it was so funny because he was like, do you want me to like, I can slow down, and I was just like, no. Like,
Oh,
I
no.
was like,
Dude, I was having trouble keeping up with him when we were
Yeah.
doing our running scenes. Like,
Yeah.
dude, you're so fast.
Yeah.
He's a fast kid alive.
Yeah. I was like, I just have to run faster. I was like, the reason why I can't catch you is all my fault for the past 20 years. So it's okay.
Yes.
But it was a lot of fun. But working with him was really cool.
Yes.
Because the first scene that
Yeah.
we shot was us coming out of the cornfield,
Mhm.
and I was just swinging this scythe at him.
The best.
That was wild.
And it was
to
the
Yeah.
watch.
dude. It was the first time I was in full costume, and where we came out were like, it was like obviously corn, but then there was two giant divots before we
Oh,
even
yeah.
got out of the corn that we had to run through. And we both were like, okay, we gotta find these divots. We're like, let's find them together. So we found them. And then when we came out and I started swinging, it was like I was so close to him, and I could hear everyone like kind of freaking out about it because it was just, I was super close.
Yeah.
And so the next
it was
time
incredible.
next time we went back
Yeah.
into the corn, I was like, hey man, if I'm getting too close, and like, it's my favorite thing I've ever heard in a movie sort of experience. He was like, no man, the closer you get the better. He was
Definitely.
like, we're selling this, dude.
That's his
Like,
attitude.
yeah.
It's
Honestly,
the best.
yeah.
And I was like,
Props
you
to
are my
both of you,
favorite
'cause, like,
person
seriously.
I've ever worked with on
Absolutely.
anything.
Yes, dude.
Yeah.
Exactly.
It
And for
was
our
fun.
listeners, this was our very first attempt at doing action, which is so
Mhm.
incredibly hard. But I knew kind of what we were getting ourselves into because for our other shorts, like I kind of we did off-screen kills and like everything to like avoid doing anything action related just because I knew how hard it was going to be. But I prepared myself for this one by kind of like I watched a couple short films and action scenes and I'm like, okay, so we can borrow these kind of shots and these cuts for this. And for this one, for this shot they're talking about specifically, they run across like this open field. And it was kind of like the day of for this one that we were just kind of like, well, this kind of reminds me of the Texas Chainsaw Massacre when Leatherface is just running out in the open with a chainsaw straight up in the air, and it's just a big wide shot.
Yeah.
And so we did that, and we told Dylan to channel his Leatherface, and he's like, it's my favorite character.
Yeah.
That was the second Orrin brought that up. He was just like, okay, think Leatherface. It was like, oh, well, he's
Check.
got it.
We're
Yeah,
good.
we're
Yes, dude. And it was destiny. It really was.
The shortest little Leatherface. I was so happy. when it got brought up, I was like, yep, I can do this. This is so, yeah. Dude, it was just a blast.
It was
man.
so much fun.
Yeah.
Seriously.
And the people who, okay, the pumpkin patch itself, what was it called?
Parkhurst Pumpkin Patch.
It was
Parkhurst.
Parkhurst.
Yeah.
Yes.
The people there were wonderful.
Yeah.
So
It was
nice.
Oh yeah, yeah.
We got to pet goats at the end of one of the days.
Yeah, dude.
It was awesome.
It was
Yeah.
fun,
The
man.
groundskeeper dude,
Yes,
He was just
dude.
like,
super fun.
Roll up on a
Mhm.
quad bike and be like, y'all doing all right? Like, yeah, dude. What's
Yeah.
up?
Yeah, shout out to Kobe. He's
Yeah.
he's a
Yeah.
cool dude.
He is.
Yeah.
For sure.
Super cool.
It was a pretty good experience because that was the first time actually like finding a place to shoot at that wasn't, I don't know, in like the woods or in our own home.
Yeah.
So
Mhm.
it was just like we were so nervous to reach out, but luckily Mikey just has no shame about that. And so she emailed a bunch of pumpkin patches, and the only one that got back to us was Parkhurst, and they're like, "We'd love to have you guys out,
Yeah.
as long as like we can be associated in any way." And so we're
Yeah.
like, "Shoot, yeah, we'll name it after you."
Yeah.
So
Aw.
Yeah.
that's how
Yeah.
the name Parkhurst got included
Yeah.
into our short film.
That's awesome.
That makes
It's pretty
sense.
rad for sure.
So
Yeah.
much fun.
They were great.
Yeah, hopefully they don't regret having us out. Sorry for destroying your corn.
Oh my
Because
god.
we
Yeah,
ran through it
you're-
so many
you're
times that I was afraid to show my face
Man,
back
and-
over there.
I was
Breaking
trying.
it in half.
Yeah, we were walking back.
I
Like at the
know.
end of the day, I was just like trying to well, we're just gonna put that over there now.
It was
but-
always like this.
Yeah, that was rough. I felt bad because we tried to like stay in the actual like trail part, but a lot of the scenes needed to be like actually in the corn, and
Right.
just running so many scenes back and forth through through the corn definitely like made a couple of
Little
I don't know,
dents.
little dents.
Little
Yeah.
dents.
Yeah, so
That's
hopefully it wasn't too
fine.
bad. So sorry, Parkhurst Pumpkin Patch.
Yeah.
But we really appreciate you letting us shoot over there. So
That's fine. They're doing fine. I'm sure.
Yeah.
Yay!
Yeah.
You
Woo,
know,
we did
more
it.
than
Yeah.
anything. But
yes.
that
I remember there was one shot that we did where I was supposed to be chasing Skylar, but he wasn't there for me to chase, so I just ran.
because you veered
Yeah.
off. When you
Oh my
veered
gosh,
off.
that was so funny. You just kind of ran in one direction. We're like, oh, he's over here,
Yeah.
but
He's
you're
really
doing
slow at
great.
Yeah. I couldn't see. I couldn't see, and I was just constantly getting hit in the groin with corn stalks, and I was just like, I guess I keep running.
That's so funny, dude.
That was so funny. Oh my gosh. Ugh.
Yeah.
That and the blood, I think. Which you really,
Oh, yeah.
man, you committed. You really committed to
thanks,
putting
man.
that super gross fake blood in your mouth.
I sure
Uh,
did. Okay, so
Dude. The fly.
okay, so
Oh my God.
yeah, so I played the guy who got killed. What was his name? Orrin? Do you remember? Spike? Is that his name?
Spike.
Spike was the guy who got killed. I don't even know if his name is actually
Yeah.
like, mentioned in the short, but whatever.
I don't think.
It's in the
Wait, was
script.
it?
I don't.
It's
Yeah.
just in the script.
Oh, I think
I'm
I
sure.
mentioned it.
Oh yeah,
I-
it is Spike
myself.
and Burke. Burke is Skylar's character, and
Yeah.
yeah,
Anyway, so
that's right.
I had this really cool idea to do this really cool special effect where like the scythe was coming through my back, through my chest, and it was gonna be really cool. But we only shot it a couple of times for like those reaction shots, and they both looked just so bad and not believable. So we're like, okay, so we're gonna have to rework this, and we ended up just getting a couple shots of me like laying on the ground. And I put a bunch of this like Spirit Halloween fake blood in my mouth that is not edible, by the way.
No.
And they do
You're
not suggest that you put
supposed to do
it.
that.
Definitely not. It's not corn syrup. It's like all chemicals.
Yeah.
And I was gonna like fall on the ground and spit it out of my mouth like they do in the movies, you know. And apparently this stuff attracts flies, and so a fly lands on my face. And it was just the best because we totally didn't mean for that to happen, but a fly lands on my cheek in one of the shots. And literally a couple like maybe like a week before we were editing it, Orrin and I watched Halloween Kills, and they do so many crash zooms, and I was like, I want to do that in our movie. And so like the whole theme of our short film is just like so many like zooms on everything, and especially on my dead body, and it zooms right in on that fly and it was just the best. And we added so many different fly sounds.
Yeah.
Just
That
because
was
we needed
amazing.
more
Yeah.
sound effects,
Yeah.
you know. And I was like, that's just great. It smells or sounds like something's rotting.
Yeah.
You know?
Mhm.
It was.
It was fun.
I remember when we got that, like when we actually filmed it, and everyone was just like, "Oh my god!" Like, what? This
fly is perfect.
That fly was just like, "What's up, y'all?"
Yeah, he's like,
About
I'm just
make
trying to be
this
in that
extra
movie.
gross."
Yeah.
Yeah.
Stunt fly. We hired it last minute.
Yeah.
He said to be a fly on the wall in this movie.
Boo.
Yeah.
You shut your mouth, Orrin. Anyway, so the Scarecrow of Parkhurst, guys.
Yeah.
It was so much fun to do. It honestly was just like a backup plan for us because I wrote it with the intention of it being like, okay, if Crutch 2 doesn't work out, then maybe we can do this.
Yeah.
But all of it was banking on the fact that we'd find the right cornfield, and we did. And then we found the right team to do it, and it was ended up being an incredible experience and so much fun. And of course, like I wish we could have done so much more, but when you're shooting with daylight scenes, you only have so much time to shoot, and you only have so many days to shoot. And so you kind of have to just roll with what you got, and I feel like we did a really good job with what we had.
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
I mean,
Yeah.
especially considering, and this is very funny because if people haven't like researched at all, like filmmaking, this
Mhm.
sounds like a lot of time, but for that film, I mean, we shot the whole thing in 3 days, but
Yeah.
it was really only like what 6 to 8 hours maybe that we
Yes,
had,
dude.
Yeah. Yeah.
which
It-
is bananas.
Yeah, we're the kings of running and gunning it for
Yeah.
sure, as far as filmmaking
Yeah.
goes.
Dude.
Yeah.
I mean, we can only do so much research beforehand. I'm like, okay, so this is what we want to do. This is how we're going to do it. Because when we get to the actual spot, we're like, oh, that doesn't work. We have to
Mhm.
problem solve in the moment and figure out something else, and then just hope that it works, and then hope that you can edit it together later.
Yeah.
And that's exactly
That's
what
every
happened.
one of our shorts.
Yes,
Well,
dude.
Like
Those are
Writer's Room,
excellent.
for instance.
Oh my God.
We filmed one night. We filmed it in 2 nights. One night we, wrote the lines and everything. And like, this is just not working. Like, we don't know how to act.
we
This
rewrote
sucks.
the entire script.
And
that
second
first
night, we rewrote the entire thing and then filmed it, and then it was money. So
Oh
like,
my god,
Yes,
dude.
dude.
Yeah.
It was the most. I feel like the first night we're shooting was like one of the most stressful nights of my life,
Mhm.
just because.
yeah,
It was like the moment in your life when you have to really see what you're made of. You're like, we could just scrap this whole thing and not do it,
Right.
or we could figure this out right now and make this work. And we did.
Yeah.
For sure, and it was a lot of fun. But because of that experience, we were able to see what we were capable of for future projects, and of course, we got better and better, and we're still
Yeah.
getting better. So
Yeah.
so we know how
Yeah.
bad it can get. So it's
Yeah.
not,
exactly.
Yeah.
whatever happens, we can manage it.
Yeah.
So
Yeah, no, you guys, like you said, I mean, you guys are really good at running and gunning, and we saw that while you guys were filming. It's just like there were several like conversations, like, okay, how are we gonna do this? What are we gonna do here? Blah 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 blah. And I mean, it was rad. It was rad to watch. It was rad to be a part of because it was just like, man, it's just really cool to know like people that are like, this is what I want to do, and then you fucking do it. Like, no matter what comes up, you do it because that's what we're all here for. This is what we
Definitely.
want to do.
yeah,
And just like inconveniences, no matter how big or small they are, it's like, yeah, we've all been inconvenienced before and had to do shit we didn't want to do. So this is stuff that
Definitely.
we want to do.
Mm-hmm.
We're
Yeah.
gonna
Yeah.
knock it out. We're gonna do this no matter
Exactly.
what. Like,
It's
Yeah.
just, it is so easy to quit,
yeah,
and it is any time that a short film goes from like conception to the page and then all the way to the screen, it is truly a miracle.
Mhm.
Because we've been in a ton of different projects that got filmed and then got scrapped during editing, and it's heartbreaking. And then
Yeah.
I remember
Yeah.
like being like,
Mhm.
I'm not doing this anymore. Like, I'm not doing this anymore. And
Yeah.
of course, a couple weeks later, I'm like, okay, that one was a big bust, but we can keep doing it.
Yeah.
I'll do this 1,000 times, and hopefully one gets made. And of
Yeah.
course, we ended up doing it. Well, we sound like we are big time filmmakers. We're really not. We're just here having fun. So
Well, that's the thing though, man. Is like, yeah, no one's like big and famous or anything right
Sure.
now. But like the thing is though, is like the kind of drive that allows you to make a short film is like the kind of drive that if you want to do something outside of like working a 9 to 5, like that's what you have to have. Like
Yeah.
you have got to have that. Like you have to have that drive. And I think that like that goes a long way with like having a group of people that like, you know, aren't like professionals or maybe haven't done something before. Like you guys had never done anything like this before, and it was like, well, we're not gonna give up, we're just gonna do it. And it does suck to have other people that you like work with that are like, well, this probably isn't gonna work, so we're gonna scrap it. And it's just like, okay, well, we're
Yes,
not gonna have
dude.
professionals do any of this stuff because we just want to do it. And if we finish it and it sucks, we finished it. We didn't just scrap it. But like, what's rad is everything that you guys have put on YouTube, everything that people have seen, none of it sucks. So it's tight. It's just like, we do all the things that we want to do, and we get it done and we make it cool.
right on.
It's quite inspirational,
Yeah.
is what we're saying.
Yeah, definitely.
Yeah.
Cool, man. Well,
Oh,
I
thanks.
appreciate that.
Yeah.
Because it is just so hard to find time to like write and then actually make a short film, you know, because you got to get people involved, and they really want to see the best product. They really believe in you, and you do feel that pressure for sure, and that you just want to put something cool out, you know. Something that they're proud to have their name attached to, and then that they can share with their friends and be like, hey, I was a part of that, you know.
Yeah.
So, and that was the Scarecrow of Parkhurst, guys.
Yeah.
Also like to give a shout out to Skylar and Jeff from Dead End Film House.
Oh my gosh.
Jeff did the VFX shot, which was, you know, the Scarecrow getting hit by the car,
That was amazing.
which
It
is
was
really
so
freaking
tight.
cool.
Oh, man.
Yeah, he did that in a couple of hours. I was like, this is incredible. And also, fun fact, if you guys pause it, during the car driving by, you can totally see us watching the shot, like in the reflection of the car.
That's
so funny, dude. I was like, no. Of course, we only got one of those takes because the sun was setting so fast, and I thought that it was gold anyways. Like, it's perfect. But that's something that we learned from, and it's more than funny than anything. Like, of course, it was never an option to not put it in the film because of that.
Right.
I thought it was just so funny because, like, who really is gonna notice it? But me, and it was like, I can't wait to show people. Man, we're dumb. Look at this.
I've watched
Hey,
it
watch
so
this.
many times, and I've not once seen
That's
that.
so funny.
I
Yeah.
never noticed.
Yeah, also, we cut a bunch of frames out just because, like, we wanted it to be less noticeable for sure.
That's funny.
But it turned
Way
out
more
really,
punchier,
really
yeah.
well. Yeah.
Yeah.
Also, shout out to everybody else who worked on it. Jojo, who was my PA, and Kayla, who took pictures for us.
She was amazing.
Yeah,
Yeah.
she
Oh
was
my
incredible
gosh.
for
Yeah.
She's
sure.
an artist, yeah.
Yeah, just anybody who, you know, has been a part of this journey. Shout out to you guys for
Yeah.
sure.
Woo.
Yeah.
Question: what would you guys like to see next?
What do you
Like from you guys?
I mean, yeah, from us, but also be involved with.
Oh.
Yeah.
Ooh. Ooh.
I really think that Crutch 2 is going to be cool. And I think that, like, since it's going to be, like, a party scene, like,
Yeah.
you'll be able to get a bunch of fun people in there and, like...
That's the hope.
Yeah,
Yeah.
exactly. Well, it's not going to be hard.
I would
get
love to
people.
have like a "this is the end" type party scene where it's just like
Yeah,
all of our like
yeah.
friends
Oh, yeah.
get killed or something.
Yeah.
That'd be
That'd be super fun.
But also, I mean, people were talking about a second one, too, which is really exciting.
Yes,
for
we want to see the
Parkhurst.
Scarecrow return for
Yeah.
sure.
Yeah.
Yeah.
'Cause,
Yeah.
Like, you and I were talking about that, like, after the movie came out.
Yes.
Just, like, how would it come back? Like, oh, there's so many ways.
Oh yeah.
There's so many
The
just...
Scarecrow
Oh, yeah.
is coming back for
Yeah.
sure, and he's coming for blood.
Yeah.
So
There's
be
so many-
ready, guys.
There's so many dumb ways that they've brought back, like, Jason and
Uh-huh.
Freddy and
Oh,
Michael
exactly,
Myers. It's
yeah.
like, oh, everything's...
Yeah.
Nothing is off the table. You can just say, like...
I don't want to do it all.
Yeah, like...
Everyone-
I
Yeah.
know. That's why that's what I really like about the design you guys made, because it's not iconic, but like it's noticeable, and like we can always keep using it. Like that creature, like
Yeah.
it's like the first
literally
like
behind
full
your
blown.
head right now.
Yeah.
It's like the first like full blown creature like we can use and like more stuff. Like it's not like a dumb alien or a ghost prop we made or whatever.
Right.
Like it's a full creature design.
Definitely.
Well, thank
Thanks.
you.
Yeah.
It was,
I know you guys worked so hard on it,
It
even
was
though
so
you're
fun.
probably acting like you didn't. You
We-
guys worked really hard on it. And shout out to the Blach Cat Horror Productions for putting it together.
Ooh, thank you.
It was so much fun, man. And the cool thing too is like now that we've done it, like on like Scarecrow of Parkhurst 9, we can make it look crazy. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
It's like
Yeah, dude.
like
We can send it in
You mean-
space and give it
Scarecrow
robo
in
parts.
space.
exactly. Yeah, dude. Yeah. And just like instead of a burlap sack, it is just like the man in the iron mask, but it just looks like that. Yeah.
Exactly.
There's so much to
dude.
do with it, man. It'd be so fun. But, dude, it's just like the possibilities for your next films are just endless. Because, like,
Right
you
on.
guys can both write. You guys surround yourselves with people that, like, want to do cool shit. So
Yeah.
it's like, yeah, man. Like,
What-
endless possibilities.
Yeah.
For sure.
Do you guys ever want to make, like, when do you think the feature is coming? You know what I mean?
A
like,
feature?
No.
Or what would you like to do for a feature?
Oh, I've got ideas, but I don't know. I mean, when we're talking about like past experiences, like trying to do this, after sightings, I got super ambitious and I wrote a 30-page script for something that's, probably not going to come out, or we were thinking about doing it. Was like, this is like way too much. So if I ever wanted to go back to that, I think I'd expand it more and make it a better story.
You
Yeah.
wrote
Yeah.
a
So-
really good vampire story, guys. It was pretty incredible.
that's sick.
Yeah,
I
it's
love
really
a good
script.
vampire story.
For
Like an
sure.
actual, true, good vampire story.
It's
Yeah.
awesome.
Well, I
Um,
mean, if you guys, like, once you guys do some more stuff, and once Dead End Film House does some stuff, you guys can just like combine the two groups and then just start making 30-minute.
Dude, I'm so down for
30-minute
that.
films.
For sure.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And that's why I'm glad that they're doing, stuff on their own. We're doing stuff on our own. Is that we're both progressing in our own ways. We
Yeah.
have such
Mhm.
different styles.
Yeah,
That's-
and I
it's
feel like when
wild.
we do,
Yeah.
Yeah.
kind of.
Text Ghost was wild. Like I really liked
Yeah.
their newest one.
Yeah.
Yes, dude, that was a lot of fun.
There's stuff I love. What I think is rad is we got to work with you guys, and then we're going to get to work with them, and the way that you guys, your styles, like you said, are
Mhm.
so different. But it's like the two coolest, in my opinion,
Spectrums.
versions of
Oh, very
Yeah.
nice.
where
Yeah.
it's like this, like you guys, like it's fun,
Yeah.
and it's rad, and like it's bloody,
Mhm.
and it's just a really good time.
Yeah, dude, we're trying not to take
Mhm.
ourselves too serious. That's for sure.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So it's like
We
you
wanna make
guys'
fun of
stuff
ourselves
is-
in a way,
Yeah.
you know?
It's like very
Yeah.
Evil Dead, and then
Oh, yeah.
the way that
Yes.
the way that Dead End Film House does it is like, I know those dudes don't take themselves that seriously,
Mhm.
but they're fucking shorts. Dude, like there
Yeah.
was one
So spooky.
like I
They
think
go
it was
dark.
called I think it was
Yeah.
called Passenger or
Yeah.
something like that.
Mhm.
Dude, that one was rough. And it was like
Yo.
it was like 3 minutes, and I was like, this is cold blooded, dude.
Mm.
This is so much fun.
It's
and then
definitely like in the same vein of like Ari Aster or
Mhm.
so.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, like that's
Mhm.
definitely
Unsettling.
the kind
Mhm.
of
Yeah.
incredibly unsettling vibe
Yeah.
that you
Yeah,
get when
and
you watch
that's
their shorts.
Just not my style at all. I'm the most like smooth-brained like horror film fan possible. I like a certain style and storyline, and I like there'd be some blood and the good guy wins and all this other stuff. And,
Yeah.
Yeah.
that's what I like for
Yeah.
sure.
Yeah.
But yeah, like Evil Dead, Army of Darkness, one of my bigger inspirations because Sam Raimi is incredible and
Yeah.
made Evil Dead when he was
Yeah.
19 years old.
Yeah.
Like,
Yeah.
come on,
Get
for
out of
sure.
here.
And then he
Yes.
made it again a few
Uh-huh.
years later.
Yeah.
Exactly.
which is rad.
Yes,
not to
dude.
get topical or anything, but I'm excited for his shit.
His latest film?
No, well, he's doing a Doctor Strange movie, like Into the Multiverse.
Yeah,
Mm-hmm.
yeah.
Yeah.
I'm excited for that. I'm
That'd
really
be rad
excited.
for sure. Because his Spider-Man movies were awesome.
Yeah.
And then going back to watch
they were
them
great.
as an adult who's seen Evil Dead a million times, seeing Spider-Man like that, I'm like, holy crap! This has just Sam Raimi written all over it.
Yeah.
With the big flash zooms and the music and
Yeah.
just his directing style. I'm like, this is incredible. How did they let this guy direct Spider-Man?
Yeah.
This is amazing.
The Doc Ock operation scene in 2.
Yeah.
It's so rad. It's
Yeah.
straight up
Dude.
Evil Dead.
Oh yeah.
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 I really wish they would have let him direct the third one.
Bummer, dude.
I
No,
know.
he did, but it's just. Oh my God.
It's just
Yeah.
bad.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
Producers did.
Yeah, like.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But anyway.
Loki named my son Ash after Ash from Evil Dead. My wife
Was that
doesn't know
low-key,
that.
though?
My wife doesn't know that,
Yes,
but
she
she will
does.
at some point
Yes,
for
she
sure.
does.
Does she
No,
not?
no,
Does she
no.
not see
I let her
that?
think that she came up
Sarah,
with
don't
the
listen to
name,
this.
So,
Yeah, now she
but
knows.
I just call him Ash because why not?
Yeah.
Anyway,
It's a great name.
Yeah.
I mean, it
Nonetheless.
is, right?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
It is, for sure.
Yeah. Well, guys, thanks for coming on the show. Thanks for being a part of the first
Thanks for having us.
video
Thank
version of this, if it
you.
works.
Maybe.
It will. It will.
We'll have you guys back on the show sometime to pick out a movie like what we normally
Sure.
do. But this time
Yeah.
it was like, we're not going to have you on the show for the first time and not talk about Parkhurst. Like,
Yes, dude.
and like talk about what you guys are doing, because
Mhm.
you guys do really cool shit. You guys do cool shit in Oklahoma, and dude, it's just like we had to have you on because you guys do really cool stuff, and it was so much fun working with you guys.
Yeah,
Orrin,
so
it
much
was
fun.
great to meet
It
you.
was so much fun working with you guys.
Yeah.
It was the best
Yeah.
experience. I kid you not. It was the best.
My
Thank you.
favorite
Honestly, yeah.
one of my favorite things about this whole thing is the way that Cary and I met.
Mhm.
Was we both went to a music college,
Yes.
and then both proceeded to not really do anything with the music college that we
Yeah.
went to, and then worked on a movie together 8 years later.
Uh-huh.
Like,
We
it's just like-
reconnected.
yeah, it was
That's the
so
best.
funny, man. It's so funny. I'm
What also is funny is that music school really helped me so much in filmmaking in so many different ways than I would ever have realized. Especially the connections that I've made. Like everybody that I've worked with I've known through the ACM.
yeah,
and,
Mikey went to college at ACM
Yeah, Mikey
too.
was ACMer. Orrin was even an ACMer for a second too.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. I dropped
So-
out after a semester, but yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, because he's cool
Yeah.
like that.
You're like, nah.
Hey, man.
Yeah. And then I mean,
I'm
not to
not paying
give
for this.
not to give shade to like actual film students, but I know a handful of people who went to film school that haven't done a single thing in film.
Right.
Yeah.
And so
Yeah.
it's just cool that we can just get people that went to a music school who want to do film stuff, and we put out a really cool product and to make it sound really cool for sure. Oh my
Yeah.
gosh! Shout out to Dylan as well for doing
Yeah.
the music for the chase scene, which is
Well,
incredible.
Thank you.
Yeah,
Thank
of
you.
course.
Yeah.
Everyone loved that
It was
so much.
really hard to do.
You did great. You
It
did.
was awesome. I'm
It
sorry that it was
wasn't-
hard to do.
Well, no. It was just like for me, like when I write music,
Yes.
dude. If I write
Mhm.
something, I have to like if I write a song.
Yeah.
If I don't write the whole thing
Mm-hmm.
in one sitting, I don't write it.
You don't like
Just
it.
like, oh no,
Mhm.
it's not good enough for me to finish.
Yeah.
I'm super good on this. So then when
Yeah.
I have to write something, I'm just like, ooh boy, I better do this or I'm not gonna like it.
Yeah.
And
I get that.
yeah, so I recorded
Yeah.
it like on like my drums, and then like recorded like drum parts there, and then went in and did the rest of it on my. Just edited and made a bunch of weird sounds on GarageBand.
Nice.
And
Yeah.
put it all together. And
Brutal.
And I was just like, I think this will work. That's why, like, I finished that song at work.
You're kidding me.
No, because I sent it to you, and you were like, you were like, what about like something like this or
Yeah.
whatever? And I was like, all right, I'll like try and get this done. So I took my iPad up to work and wrote
That's
the rest
so
of it on
funny,
my
dude.
iPad at work, and I was just like, I think this is a bop. I think this is it.
It was solid, dude. It was great. Also, we had such a tight deadline because the time from when we started editing to our deadline, which was on Halloween, was so short that we only gave Dylan, I don't know, a couple days to do the music for that scene. And sorry about that, by the way. Someday we'll actually have time to do it.
No, it's better to not, to be honest. I don't do anything until last minute.
Okay,
so
that's true.
Do well under pressure.
I don't do. Yeah, if I'm not under pressure, then it's just like, well, I'm not gonna do it until I am. Because then that's when I don't know. I feel like
that
that's when we do our best work.
I mean, inadvertently, it always comes down to that.
Dude.
Yeah, you can. You have so much time to do certain things, and then it's like, oh. But ultimately, I'm gonna do most of it like probably 2 days before.
Yeah.
So.
But I will say, with like the Scarecrow, man, as soon as we got the green light, we worked on it every day.
Yeah.
Like. We were like, oh, well, that, but also it was just like, hey, do you want to do this? Like, absolutely. All right, cool. Can you do it in 2 weeks? Like, fuck, I think so. I'm going to say yes. I'm going to say we can. I mean, I could have wrote that song, like, right after we got done filming, but to me, I was just like, I'm not going to start writing it until I see
and it made it a better product because you knew exactly how many seconds from start to finish when the chase scene was going to be, and you did a freaking perfect job.
Well, thanks, man.
It makes
really
the biggest difference.
it.
Yeah, you killed it.
Really do
for sure.
it.
Yeah, great job.
Thanks, man. Well, great job to you guys.
You guys too.
Yeah, we were there.
Did so good. Everybody did such a good job.
Everyone did, and it was completely a collaborative effort. And I can't wait to see what we do next.
Yeah.
Honestly, because I mean, we really haven't even got together to talk about like what's next. I don't know, because we're kind of living on this. We're living on this high right now.
Yeah.
Of Scarecrow that is just, I don't know, it's been pretty cool.
Yeah, it's doing
really good feedback. Yeah, we've got more views on this one than we get in any of the other ones, and a lot of interactions, and it's just been rad, man.
Our Instagram was popping the fuck off when that went. Like,
that was wild.
Oh, really?
I didn't know. Well, it's like I didn't know that you could share posts until we all started working together, and I was like, oh, I guess you can do that.
Yeah, we did a collaborative post, which is weird and new.
So cool. And then it was just like my phone was just like that Halloween was the tightest Halloween of my life because like
it was the coolest Halloween month. Like it was definitely the best.
I agree.
Halloween month I've ever had ever. Yeah.
We like woke up and we're like, oh, the movie's out. So we watched the movie and then like our phones were just like, what is up? Just like all the likes, all the comments, and we were like, holy shit, man. And then
dude,
Elvira was doing a whole movie marathon all day on Comet, so we were watching Elvira all day on top of that. And then we had trick-or-treaters all night. It was like, we couldn't have asked for a better day.
The Halloween atmosphere was alive that night for sure, and I was feeling it as well.
Yeah.
It was the best. It was the best.
Fun.
Anyway, check out Scarecrow of Parkhurst. It's on YouTube and on the Instagram as well. Give us a like at the Skullcrawlers on Instagram, or follow rather, and check out our YouTube at the Skullcrawlers Movie Club on YouTube. Subscribe, do that whole thing.
Subscribe,
and I have big
all the
plans
YouTube stuff
to put out videos regularly, and as well as do more short films, and then also help other friends on short films. Yeah.
So fun.
Thanks for listening to the episode. Thanks for watching the video. This is the first one we've ever done. We're really glad to have done it with you guys.
Definitely.
We'll have you guys on the show again soon. And
cool, man.
Next week we are doing Drag Me to Hell, Sam Raimi film.
Yes!
That is a good one, dude.
So, yeah.
That's
so
rad.
good.
Yeah, I'm super
so
stoked.
good.
So,
brutal.
We'll catch you guys next week. See ya.
Bye.
Later.
Later.